A live look at the Capitol in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, not a whole lot of activity happening there right now, even though there is talk of a potential deal being discussed between Senate Democrats and Senate Republicans. They could lead to some sort of agreement to reopen the government, but again, it's still said to be in its early stages, so we'll continue to monitor that for you. Hopefully it happens, and hopefully the government does reopen here in short order. In the meantime, we are getting ready for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. It's set to ring here in about 6 minutes or so. Here's how things are looking in pre-market trading. Really only one good sign on our board. Everything else is in the red right now. Hopefully all of that changes when the opening bell rings and the day of trading actually gets underway. We'll take it to New York for that here in short order. But first, let's get you over to David Brody. David, good morning.
Good morning, T. Bates. Saw that gold was down a little bit this morning, but that has not been the trend for sure. I mean, look, buy gold and get free silver. So that is correct, by the way. What I said was true. Because for every $5,000 purchased from Birch Gold Group this month in advance of Veterans Day, they're going to send you a free patriotic silver round, and it commemorates the Gadsden and American flags. Because look, I mean, gold is up over 40% since the beginning of the year, and Birch Gold can help you own it by converting an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Plus, they're going to send you, like we said, this free silver honoring our veterans on qualifying purchases. And if you're current or former military, Birch Gold has got a special offer just for you. They're waiving custodial fees for the first year on investments of any amount. They've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, tens of thousands of happy customers. So I encourage you to diversify your savings into gold. Here's how you do it. You text America to the number 989898. Pretty simple. For a free info kit and to claim your eligibility for free silver with qualifying purchases before the end of the month. Once again, you text America to 989898. Do it today, not mañana. All right, for more, let's bring in Birch Gold Group's precious metals specialist. And they're so precious, as President Trump would say. Those metals, I love them. They're precious. Philip Patrick, joining us from an ungodly hour on the West Coast. We want to apologize for the darkness, though you can take it up with God, I guess. Philip, talk to us. The Fed cut rates again this week, even though inflation still above target. So what's going on? Good morning to you. Are you awake, by the way?
I am just about awake. Good morning, David. It's good to see you as always.
Yeah.
Look, I think what we're watching is what economists call fiscal dominance, and we're seeing it happen in real time. This is the moment where debt drives policy, not necessarily data. Inflation's still running hot. Obviously, it's been coming down under Trump, but it's still at 3%. It's well above the Fed's target. But the problem is Washington just added another $1 trillion in new debt in the last 79 days. The interest bill alone on the debt this year, $1.2 trillion. That's more than US defense spending. That's why I think a rate cut yesterday was virtually inevitable, not because inflation's beaten, but because the government can't afford normal rates anymore. It's that simple.
Yeah, no, it sounds simple to me, so to speak, and I'm a layman, literally, with emphasis on the word layman. All right, the Fed finally acting, though, more like the Treasury's partner, I guess, than an independent central bank here. Is that your sense?
Yeah, it's feeling that way. The line between the Fed and the Treasury is getting a little bit blurry. Powell's talking about a balance of risk a lot, meaning that he's more afraid of job losses than inflation. But the problem is employment is kind of unemployment rather, is kind of historically low today. The average rate since 1945 has been about 5.7%. We're at 4.3 today. So it seems like his concerns are overblown. And that's why I say I think what's really driving policy today is the cost of servicing debt. Every 1% increase in the rates adds about $380 billion to annual interest costs. Now, that's paying another $380 billion with getting nothing back in exchange. So I think today's rate cuts are not so much about unemployment, but more about survival, lowering the government's debt cost burden, because without it, we just can't function today.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, we got about 30 seconds or so. Inflation looks like it's easing. Doesn't that give the Fed some cover here?
Look, a little bit certainly been the catalyst for them to drop rates. My concern about inflation easing is Americans aren't really feeling it, right? It's not matching our reality. So I think there's been some oversight when it comes to the numbers. Obviously, the Fed has been flying blind, and there's been some mismeasurements on housing costs, or specifically owner's equivalent rent. So I think real CPI, they're going to readjust closer to about 3.5%. That was certainly the catalyst for the Fed to lower rates. Whether it's really the case, we'll have to wait and see.
10 seconds or so. Where do people get more information regarding Birch Gold? What do they
It's
do?
really simple. Text America to 989898. Get the information. That's what we specialize in. We're very confident once people read the information, the solutions will become clear. But text America to 989898 and just get reading would be my advice.
Phil Patrick, great to have you. Please go back to sleep. We appreciate you. All right, time for T. Bates in Denver for the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange, sponsored by AMAC.
The Association of Mature American Citizens is the conservative voice for Americans 50 and older. AMAC is fighting for the values that you hold dear. Join today. Together, we can write the course of America.
And we are joining the applause on Wall Street in progress. As you can hear there, that's Cyber, who is that? Cyber 60 is at the podium this morning. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The bell is ringing, which means the markets are now officially open. A lot of the runners are already scurrying with those first buys and sells. Here's how things are looking right now. The only bright spot is the NASDAQ, which is up, but the S&P 500 as well as the Dow are both in the red. And look, just like that, the NASDAQ is down in the red as well. The entire board not looking so positive at the moment. We'll continue to monitor it for you, though, throughout the day and keep you updated. Still to come here on American Sunrise, President Trump shutting the door on rumors that he'll be seeking a third term in office. 47 sounding off on the idea during a trip through Asia this week. We'll bring you what he had to say ahead on American Sunrise.